Poem Rain in Summer, written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Poetic devices. First, rhyme scheme. A B B A A C C. The poet doesn't keep that up throughout, but lines do consistently rhyme. Similes, like a river down the gutter roars. Enjambment. Enjambment is a poetic device when the poet makes the line continue over the next one, like till the treacherous pool engulfs them in its whirling and turbulent ocean. Poet has not used any punctuation after pool and whirling, and it is a continuation in the meaning. Fourth one, onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a poetic device where we use the words which represent the sound, like clatter, tramps of hooves. Fifth one, personification. It is a poetic device where when a non-living object is given the quality of a living being as they bend their tops. Here it refers to the field of grains. When it rains, they bend because of the pressure. How beautiful is the rain after the dust and heat, in the broad and fiery street, in the narrow lane. How beautiful is the rain, how it clatters along the roofs like the tramp of hooves, how it gushes and struggles out from the throat of the overflowing spout. In these lines, Henry Longfellow is just mesmerized by the rain washing off all the heat and dust from the narrow and broad lanes of the city, and he reiterates the statement, how beautiful is the rain. He is happy, he is enchanted. In the next line, he speaks about how the drops of rain falling on the roofs are having a rhythmic appeal to it. He compares it with the hooves of the horses to give us an image of the rhythm and sound of the raindrops on the roof. In the last two lines, he writes how the rain falls from the sky as if it is freeing from the overflowing clouds in the sky. Here, imaginative poetic device is also used as the poet impels us to imagine how the rain is falling over the roofs and compels us to imagine that as if the horses' hooves across the window pane. It pours, and swift and wide, with a muddy tide, like a river down the gutter roars, the rain, the welcome rain. In these lines, the poet is described how it looks like when the rain falls on the window pane, and how swift and wider the gutter looks. As they are full of rain and water, and filled with mud, it looks like a river roaring down. He feels overjoyed about the rain and welcomes it with open arms. The sick man from his chamber looks at the twisted brooks. He can feel the cool breath of each little pool. His fevered brain grows calm again, and he breathes a blessing on the rain. In these lines, Longfellow is talking about how people of all the age group enjoy rain in their own ways, and how they are happy to see the rain. The man who is ill looks at the brooks and the branches, brooks is river, from his room and feels the cool of the rain. He can sense it from the sight and grows calm and feels better. From the neighboring school come the boys with more than their wonted noise and commotion, and down the wet streets sail their mimic fleets till the treacherous pool engulfs them in its whirling and turbulent ocean. In these lines, the poet speaks of the small boys from the school who are overjoyed to see the rain, and they run from their classes to the wet streets making noises and screaming in excitement. They play in the rain and in the pool of water, which is mixed with water, mud, and dirt, but they don't care and fall into it. In the country, on every side, where far and wide, like a leopard's tawny and spotted hide, stretches the plain to the dry grass and the drier grain. How welcome is the rain. In these lines, Longfellow speaks about how the heat of the summer had dried every kind of vegetation around and has dried and turned yellow. He says that the entire field resembles like a suitable place for the hideout of the leopard, as it's yellow and spotted like its fur and stretches all over the plains, and that parched bit of land is overjoyed too on the arrival of the rain. In the furrowed land, the toilsome and patient oxen stand, lifting the yoke in cumbered head, with the dilated nostrils spread. They silently inhale the clover scented gale and the vapors that arise from the well watered and smoking soil. The poet now is talking about the heat rising from the earth and how the earth smells as the drops of the rain falls on it and cools down the hot soil. It cools and calms the entire environment around. For this rest in the furrow after toil, their large and lustrous eyes seem to thank the Lord more than man's spoken word. The poet says that once it had started pouring, everyone seems to look towards the sky and silently thank God for showering his blessings on them. Near at hand, from under the sheltering trees, the farmer sees his pastures and his fields of grain as they bend their tops to the numberless beating drops of the incessant rain. In these lines, the poet describes the joy of the farmers or peasants as they see the rain falling from the sky and replenishing their crops and fields. They are satisfied to smell the aroma of rain as it pours from the sky. He counts it as no sin that he sees therein, only his own thrift and gain. The poet says that the peasants and farmers doesn't see a kind of harm or sin in being satisfied that the rain has come only for their benefits, but it's the poet's eyes that could see everything and much more and far than this.